Can you tell me why you've taken Pancake to Blue Dog Ranch today?
Because I heard it's the best place to get your dog to...
Go ahead and shoot a little bit of Pancake.
...to behave. I'll teach her how to be better on a leash and not to nip. And I'm excited to see where we are in 3 weeks.
Okay. Anything else you'd like to add?
I love my dog.
She's very excited to do this greeting routine. We're going to walk her up to the person, sit, have her sit. She waits there in a sit stay. We step away from her, give him a little treat. She waits till I come back. Pat her chest. You're never restraining her, so make sure that leash is loose. Pat her chest and say, go say hi. And then come, call her back to you. Good. Step into her like this. You might have to tap like that because she's very rambunctious, and sit. She can pull sometimes, but you see, you just tap and it stops her. We're not correcting her, causing pain. It's just it's a signal. So once you have that sit, stay down, and she waits for you, then you can start adding other things like walking around her. It makes it so much harder for her to focus and stay there to wait for the big reward, which is to go over, say hi to the person, and get the treat. Go say hi. Goes over there. Next time, grab her collar and pet her, okay? Come. Good. We'll do it one more time. I don't think she had a problem with people sit as far as growling or being scared of people, but I think that she was jumping a lot, I believe. And so practicing this exercise a lot really has taught her to not jump, because first of all, when she runs over to a person that she just met or she hasn't seen for a while, and everything's down they're waiting for her to come to them, and the hands are down on her level, there's no reason to jump. And there's a treat down there and she's getting petted, there's no reason to jump. Let's do it one last time. Go. And then you practice come. Get to practice your come command. Good. And if they are petting her, or if you're petting her and she does start to jump, she's getting all this great petting, she might get excited, and then she jumps, no. Make sure you put your hands really move away from her, and you say no. And sometimes a dog, it's so severe, the dog's like a pogo stick, up and down, and not her, but a lot of dogs really have a big issue. And if you're just going like this, waiting for them to stop, they're going to stop, they're going to look up at you, and then the hands come back and pet them, good, like that, and then they're going to jump again, you do it again. They learn really quickly that if they want attention, they have to stay on all fours. The reason that a jumping problem gets worse is because people are correcting, usually talking, hey, knock it off, stop, saying their name, whatever, and that actually is what perpetuates the problem. So that's why we're not doing that. We're giving her attention for what we want, and then we're in a very specific way. It's how you do it that matters. We're showing her, hey, everything stopped because you started that behavior. She stops it, we go back, and she gets more of what she wants. So it's really clear. You starve out that behavior that we want to see go away, and you feed the behavior that you want to take over and you want her to do more of. Sit. Good. That's usually what's going to happen. You're going to tell her to sit. She's going to automatically look up at you. You're going to reward. See, I didn't bend over. I'm not bending over her. I'm not doing this. It's really easy. Just take the treat, put it by your face right here. Look down at her. She's going to look up, straight down. Good. She's actually looking in my eyes as I reward her. Very important that you do that. It's very subtle, but it's a bonding thing. No. If she collapses into a down, you say no. You reset her like I just did. Step into her gently but firmly, put her back. There's no jerking, popping, there's no rough stuff. When you say SIT, it means to stay there until you're released. So of course we don't say stay. And if you want to practice just a little stay, like if you're doing this in your apartment or out on the street on a corner or something like that, it's great to do. Just do it periodically, throughout the day, a few times a day in a different spot. Make sure she ends on success. When you walk back next to her like that, once again, good. And the way to reward her, the way to release her is to pat her chest with your right hand like this. You're never restraining her. She's really staying there. So tap her chest and say, oh, no, she made a mistake. Make sure she really waits until you actually release her with your right hand. Go. And now she's free. Down. You saw that I did this at the moment I said down. I barely touched the leash actually, but I'm doing it that way to show you what I think you're going to have to do maybe for a few days or a week or so when she comes back to you, because usually, I mean, her down came a little bit slower than her sit. So usually when I'm off the scene and they're back with their owners, they are not quite as sharp because you haven't practiced with them as long as I have. That's why we're doing the lessons with you, so you can get a handle on it. But you'll still have to keep practicing after I'm gone. Good. So the way to do it is not to, if you know that her DOWN isn't instantaneous like we want it to be, then don't say it and then wait for her to ignore you and then do this. It's better just to anticipate she's not quite there yet, and as you say it, down, everything happens at once. That way you'll get past that point very quickly, because all she knows is she heard it as she was going down there, and very quickly you won't have to do that. She'll just do it with a voice command. But if you were to, with anything, with a sit or something like that, it works the same way with that. If you give her the command, wait for her to ignore that, and then you reinforce it by pulling her up or doing this or with the down thing, you can easily get stuck in that pattern where she ignores you and you force her down and it never moves past that. So you just change it that one little way. It happens like with SIT, the sit, it's sit. And then very quickly, she'll just do it without you touching her or doing leash tension. So just a little tip there, a little bit of a change. It's all about timing when you say something and how you do it. That just change it a little bit and it makes it way better, makes the training way better. The stay is built into down, of course, so I think I already walked around her. If I didn't, I'll do it again. That's just a basic down stay. If she pops up, you're gonna say no, and you're just gonna put her back down like that. If she jumps up and moves away, you say no and you step into her and you lead her back here and then put her back. But she's been pretty solid, and of course on this clip you're going to see the out in public stuff too, and you'll see how solid she is in the presence of distractions. But this is how to practice where there's no distractions, just to get a handle on learning how to do it in your apartment, you know, in a place where there's no distractions. You should do that for a while just to get a feel for doing, nope, so she made a mistake. Because I'm talking too long, that's why. Talking too much. So, but you'll see the end result when we do the clip out in public. And, but you need to practice for a while so that you can do what you're going to see me doing in public. You're not going to, nope, you're not going to do that right away. You're going to practice a little bit, get a feel for it, allow her to get a feel for you doing it with her, like me. Then you're going to start taking her out into ever-increasing, in the presence of ever-increasing levels of distractions out in public. So the way to release her is she stays there until you come back next to her, you pat your leg and say, okay. She gets up, you say sit, and then to release her, be free out of a calm sit stay, just like that. It's okay, and then sit, and now she's going to be released. Go. And now she's free. When I'm practicing calling Pancake to come to me, I always do it the same way. Left hand leash, you put it over your wrist, so then your hand is free, your left hand's free. Right hand reward, come. Always back away. Good. Take the leash with your left hand, and then she'll help you. She'll spin around on your left. You always want to grab the leash or come. Grab the collar if she's not on a leash, because a dog can easily learn, and she's very smart, she'd learn it in no time, that she can run over, grab the treat, and then go back again. So always make sure that as you give her the treat, you're grabbing the leash or putting your hand under the collar. Maybe the collar is better because that would imply, come, that she doesn't have the leash on. Good. And you always want her to be used to you grabbing that collar in a stressful situation, a stressful moment. If you're giving her the treat every time you call her to come to you and you're hooking your hand under there and grabbing it every time at the same moment, she's going to become desensitized to feeling that. And in a situation where she's really stressed out on the street or something like that, you're going to grab that collar and she's not going to bite your arm because she flips out, because it just stresses her out. That happens a lot. So we're sort of preparing for that situation that may never happen, but if it ever does, then just making sure that everything happens at once. The treat happens at the same time you grab a collar and you say, good, come. Good, see? Or the collar, good. So the other little tricks about it, you want her to rush back to you. Come. When you practice, always back away. Good. When you back away, the dog rushes to you, and if that's what you practice hundreds of times, you can easily call her to come to you several hundred times in a month, then she's not going to know why she hears that command and runs to you, even though your back is to a wall or to a curb or something, because you don't know when you're going to need that. God forbid her leash comes off on the street. You want her to come running back to you no matter what. So we always practice when we practice on the leash, and we're always practicing on the leash, of course, so that it works off leash. And we're always backing away so that every time she hears that command, she runs to you. You always call her to this closed hand target, so don't open that hand, because in real life, you've got nothing and she sees it's empty and she's not going to come to you. So always call her to this, like it's empty now. Come. She doesn't know it's empty. And I can get her to come anywhere with me. Good. And there was nothing there, but I loved her up extra, still grabbed the collar and all of that. So we use rewards when we practice so that the target hand works really well in a real life situation. And then you could even save her life, maybe. So the come command is a super important thing to practice. And with the leash, if she ever ignored you, you just tap. Tap it. Never repeat that command. All she knows still, good. All she knows is that she heard that command once. If you tap her, she's going to turn around and look at you and see you backing away. See, like that. Good. That was actually 3 times in a row that she didn't get a treat there. So I'll finish it off like this. Come. Good. And then sit. Sometimes you want to call her back and have her do a sit stay or something like that, or a down stay.